Greetings, friends. Wherever you are, it's either New Year's Day or possibly at the end of New Year's Eve, like it is for me in Los Angeles. So I'm not going to bore you like other people are probably trying to do, where they're trying to get last minute stuff and say, this is the year end wrap up and just recycle old stuff. Why would you do that when you have new stuff? So let's go through what we possibly have and just get your opinion. This is where I require for two people, the contactees and the abductees. Are these real aliens? And also the people that have worked in these classified programs. Are these actually co ops where the recoveries go? It looks very realistic. I would not be surprised if this is a bona fide picture of bodies recovered from an actual crash. That's what I would like to know. Thanks to you guys in the comments, we're able to figure out so much stuff. I'm able to now confirm things happening in Saigon, in, I believe I just heard, was it not Norway, but Finland? Okay, we got Finland as well. We know they're happening in Australia. What is going on? Now, is this one of those plasma orbs? And someone said, don't use the word orb. I don't understand why. What is it then if it's not? Because if it's not a structured craft, then what is it? Now, what is this that we're looking at? Sometimes ETs appear and what you see is a glow. The possible explanation is because they're bleeding into this dimension. Sometimes when people see aliens, they could see right through them because they could literally be in two dimensions at one time. 70% in one, 30% in another. Now, this is not here to scare you. The point of this is the shadow in the apartment. Look at this. She's actually freaking out about it. If you were alone too, and this thing's probably stalked you in your own home, wouldn't you fear? Look at the way it's crawling at her. Could this be a hoax? Everything could be hoax these days, but the incentive to hoax to get paid is so minuscule. It's pointless. What are you going to do? Upload it to Mr. Beast and get that kind of money? Even he doesn't make enough money to pay for his own videos without a sponsor. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to cover tonight. Look at that. Brand new footage, New Jersey. That is no drone, friends. That is absolutely no drone. Are we looking at an ET or a ghost here? Again, I require the opinions of you, dear friends. Thanks to you guys, I'm able to also confirm that Skinny Bob is in fact real. I can't even tell you how many abductees over the last 12 years, since 13, I've been doing this professionally, have told me that Skinny Bob is what they actually saw in their bedroom or on board of the ship. Okay, now the reason why it's important to also include Bigfoot, if you've seen my interviews, there have been some Bigfoot experts. Why? It's not a cryptoid. Some people have actually seen Bigfoot aboard spaceships or UFOs, whatever you want to call them. Sometimes there will be a gray standing next to a reptilian, standing next to a Bigfoot. Now, John Lear, may he rest in peace, said multiple times on my show, on this channel, uh, during the podcast section, which is under the live section of this channel, that these were possibly from Mars. I don't think anything is from there currently. There's a good idea that that's where they were coming from the past. I'm going to pause this for a second. For those of you who have not seen this, do you see that? Have you ever heard of Jose Escamilla? I don't know how long you guys have been paying attention to ufology. Let me back it up for a quick second, because he made a documentary. He's also been gone for quite some time. I believe I interviewed him probably 2012, 2013. It's possible that interview may not even be uploaded to this channel, because at that point I was interviewing for a radio station, Revolution Radio. Anyway, he made a documentary called Rods. You could probably find it for free today on UFOs. That's what he was arguing these things are. Another species that's existing with us that travels so fast, you can't see them with the naked eye. You literally have to catch them in a freeze frame. I'm going to bypass this section. The whole point this person included this section was saying strange bugs in my backyard or, garden. They're not alien, okay? I don't think that's, if someone's trying to make that point, if anything, we're either going through some sort of evolution or possibly radiation could be affecting them. Now, are we looking at a demon, a ghost, or an alien? What do you guys think? Now, there are the tall white aliens, but the eyes don't look like a tall white. But notice how it's having that cape over its head. That is what is unique to me. You, contactees, abductees, have you seen this before? What about you, ghost researchers? Have you seen this before? Now, probably one of the most important videos I'm about to show you is about to come up. Oh, remember I mentioned Bigfoot? This is it. This isn't the most important one. That's probably the next one. This is it. Okay. We talked about UFOs, USOs, unidentified submerged objects. Back in the day when we called UFOs, the flying saucers, unidentified flying object. Submerged was basically a UFO coming from the water. Here we go. I don't know where. I wish I had a source of this video. Is this Alaska? Is this Michigan? Where is this snow coming from? Now, I've been asking. I want a source in Antarctica because right now I have sources in all four of the other continents that have seen these UFOs coming from the ocean or flying above like they are in these massive fleets. But look at that. Let's try to freeze it on the next frame here for a second. Oops. Let's try to catch that. So, anybody know anyone that's got enough money to be vacationing in Antarctica right now? Please confirm if they are seeing this as we speak, because that'll actually give us the confirmation that this is not just global, but there is no population left that has not seen this. Did you see that? Let's try to pause it again. Now, that looks so close to something like the sport model or any typical, oh, come on, structured flying saucer. Again, one last time, take a look at it. And if I can't freeze it, well, then you guys probably are able to at home just by freezing my video. There's no point in me trying to do it for you further because the point is to bring you this information, friends. Now, let's try to make 2025 give us some more answers because this mystery kind of needs to end. What good are we doing here if we can't get to the answers? Now, we kind of already know what the hell's going on. We're being sort of visited by something unknown. Is it from another planet? There may be this, okay? Maybe there's no such thing as aliens. Maybe what's visiting you at night and kidnapping people, maybe it's not even demons or angels. What if it's just humans? What if at some point in our timeline, in our reality, whether it be 2014, 2024, or 1983 or 1962, we created the technology to create gravity, a gravitational wave, an artificial one, with space and time being intertwined. The moment you are able to create your own gravity wave, you by default are a time traveler, an interdimensional traveler, and can travel to the furthest points of the universe. How is that possible at the speed of light? Doesn't matter. I'll tell you why. Because when you have something 100 million light years away, it's instantaneously to get there with gravity. And the reason is you create a traversable wormhole. So what you're doing is you have point A, point of origin, Earth. Point B, whatever star system 100 trillion light years away. You basically bring point B to you. So you bring the location where you're trying to go. You bend space time to bring your final destination a foot in front of you. All you have to do is move 1 foot in front of you, and instantly time snaps back to the space time fabric, back to the straight line where point A and point B are separated by the 100 trillion light years, and you are instantaneously there. When people mention that these things can travel at the speed of thought, they are absolutely 100% correct. So, the hypothesis are these time travelers? We do know during the December 1980 wave over Rendlesham, RAF, Woodwaters, and Bentwaters. It was actually a joint United States Air Force and Royal Air Force base that nobody knew publicly that nuclear weapons were being housed there during the Cold War aimed at Moscow. Now, the ETs or the time travelers did because they came over right overhead where the nukes were. And then some people actually were affected, specifically Airman John Burroughs, someone who I've spoken to multiple times. Another interview you could find on this channel. He was not only damaged by this craft, he actually is on permanent disability. And the U.S. was forced to admit that this encounter happened with a non-terrestrial craft in order for him to finally get his disability. That was a major story that I was able to break with Linda Moulton Howe on this channel. If you look at the video titled UK Forces US to Admit UFO Landing, something like that with Linda Moulton Howe. I want to say it was about 2014 is the year that I did it. So you have the time travel hypothesis. You also have with Tucker Carlson and people, a lot of people have been really saying this. Since the creation of the atomic bomb, we became essentially God. We said, no more Christianity, no more Islam. No, humans are the end and be all. The problem with that is what we did is we took away thousands of years of history where the history said that is supernatural, that is evil, that is demons, or those are angels, that is good. We know the yin yang exists. We know that where there is good, there is evil. It just is. You cannot have good without evil. You cannot have evil without good. Apparently, that's the way everything works. So, are these demons or are they aliens? Now, if you listen to the confessions of the special ops soldier of I Recovered UFOs that I posted back in March 2024, the guy said these are not aliens. They want us to think they're coming from space, but where are they really coming from? Some species are apparently living here on Earth. Now, are they aliens that happen to have a base here under the water? Apparently, the Greys live underground. The reptilians either live underwater or in the mountains, and the Nordics live something in the point is, one is in the mountains, one is in the water, and one is underground. Which of the one is what? I think the underground was actually the reptilians, and I'll tell you why. There was actually an article in LA Times in the 30s. Yes, you can literally Google this. Under Los Angeles, they were mining for gold, and they came across a labyrinth. And they literally came across reptiles, literally living reptilians. So that basically says they came from that where the reptilians are living is underground. That's probably not where their origin is from. Now, one more last story I'm going to speak about the reptilians. Have you ever heard of George Washington talk about his encounter? Well, apparently during the Revolutionary War, when we were losing at the hands of the British, and you had all these rags American soldiers, some as young as 14, under General George Washington. Apparently, this is before we crossed the Delaware River, and George Washington was almost defeated, and I think was possibly even going to give up to the British. And he came across, get this, green-skinned beings with tails. Think about that. Tails, like reptiles touching the ground. And what did he think? He thought these are Native Americans of a tribe that he had never heard of. Isn't that crazy how that's how they actually thought at that time, because there was so much of the United States was unmapped and unknown. And when they saw the natives first, they probably were like, whoa, these don't look like what we had seen in, Europe or other parts of the earth that they had come from. That's what he actually thought. And the story goes that they told him he must proceed further. He has to cross the Delaware River and continue the battle. And apparently what they did is they pulled out a map, and the map was blank, and droplets of water appeared. And where the water appeared, it would show the future skyscrapers. And they basically said to him, you have to win this war, because if you don't, this country that you're fighting to be given its liberty will never look like this. And they showed the entire map of the 48 states on the mainland with what we probably see today in 2025, or even maybe 1,000 years into the future. So, what are we seeing? And will we get answers in 2025? Let's hope the case actually happens. With that being said, I hope you're all safe, having a good time, and I will keep sharing amazing footage with you and, of course, more interviews. Catch you on the flip side.